Hey guys, Phil here at Woods Tree Farm. The question of today is, what is the best way to remove stumps from your Christmas tree field? Obviously, after you harvest trees, it's going to leave stumps behind. So I think I've got a solution. Obviously, we're a new farm, just 2 years into this. We haven't harvested any of our own trees yet, so this isn't something that we've had to deal with. I've talked to several Christmas tree growers over the last 2 years, and each of them have different methods for removing stumps, and some of them don't remove stumps at all. So it seems like a lot of tree farmers, they'll just either go, north or south or whatever. They'll just be consistent through their field, and they'll just plant one new little seedling right next to the old stump, and that seems to be a pretty common way of handling it. But I guess there are some reasons why you might want to remove the stumps. There are some different bugs, different pests that will live in the dead wood, and you don't want those pests getting into your new seedlings. So that might be one reason why you want to remove it. Another is just the kind of the inconvenience of having the stump there. It's a tripping hazard. It's a hazard for your equipment, possibly your mower. There are some folks out there that I've seen, they'll just cut the stump at ground level or as close to ground level as they can, and that way it's below the height of any of their cutting equipment, so you don't risk damaging your blades or your spindles or anything like that on your mowing equipment. But anyway, if you're going to remove the stumps, I have one thing that you can check out here. That is what we have today. That is the Artillion stump bucket. And the Artillion stump bucket is part of the Artillion modular system, and maybe you've seen in some of my previous videos other components of this system, and if you haven't seen those, I'll drop a link in this video's description. You can go back and check that out. But what this is, you get that main pallet fork frame there that attaches to the loader of your compact tractor, and from that frame you can attach a grapple or forks, or in this case a stump bucket. And Artillion also has a snow plow and maybe one or two other accessories for the fork frame like that. So this is a pretty versatile piece of equipment. You add it all up and it all seems expensive, but if you were to buy all of these individual components that had their own quick attach, it would be just as expensive, if not more so, I believe. So, buying the modular system is pretty convenient. Adding or removing the individual components from the fork frame there is pretty easy to do. This particular bucket, I don't know what it weighs, but maybe 60, 70 pounds. It was pretty easy to pick it up out of the box for me and put it on the frame, put the little keys in, lock it in place, and I'm on my way. We'll start here with something that I think might be pretty easy. Do you guys get these trees where you are? These locusts with these big fat thorns? They're kind of all over here. I really don't like them, particularly in an area where I might be coming by on the zero-turn mower and have these big thorns clip into your arms or your legs or whatever. It's not fun, and I just don't want to have them around. So anywhere I see a locust, I go ahead and pull it out. I'm going to use this stump bucket today. I've got one here, that little small one. I've got two more back here, I think. See how that comes out. Alright, that made quick work of these little tiny saplings. This tree over here, I've cut down at ground level a couple times already, and you can see how its roots are pretty well developed, and it just keeps going. So I'll switch to the grapple later, and I'll come down here and grab this and see if I can't get it pulled out completely. But today I'm just trying to demonstrate for you guys how this might work for stumps for Christmas trees, but you can see these little tiny saplings, no issue at all. So let's move on to something bigger. Alright, what I got here is an area of field edge that we cleared off last year. The trees had come out to, about where the tractor is, and we've cleared all this back, a good 20-30 feet pretty much across the whole thing. There were a lot of little scrubby pines all along this field edge, so we'll try to find a couple stumps in here that might be representative size of a good sized Christmas tree. These, should all be pretty well established little stumps. So these are, I'm sure, are going to be a lot harder to dig out. But let me give you a couple little examples here. I'm just kind of scanning and I see lots of little stumps here that we could try to play with. Okay, that one there is real good size, probably a lot bigger than your average tree. That is bigger than my palm, so not even just my palm, almost as big as my entire hand. But right next to it we have some smaller ones, which are 4 inches across or so, and there's an even smaller one right next to that, so we could try those. I've got these over here, similar size. That one's a little bit bigger, 4 to 5 inches. And these haven't even been cut a full season, so they haven't really started to decay seriously yet, so this should be a pretty good test. That was easy. The only challenge is you can't see the stump bucket kind of over the front of the tractor, so trying to get lined up in just the right place and precisely pop the stump out, that's the only thing that I'm finding to be tricky so far. But I've got this little set over here. It's actually 3 stumps in a row, so we'll see how, let's see, can you see them? 1, 2, 3. We'll see if we can get all 3 of those and see if that gives us any more fight. The one farthest to that side is way bigger than the last one. I didn't get them all yet. I got 2 out of 3. There's 1, 2, and the third one. Yeah, that's going to work well. Good size little stump right there. Very well representative of a Christmas tree, I think. Actually, that would be probably on the bigger side of what most of us are dealing with as far as Christmas tree stumps go. You saw me take this out of the box today, and I didn't do any other practice with this thing off camera. So I'm sure I could become more proficient with this. It seemed like, oh, well, this is a little slow if you got to do hundreds of these things. But I tell you what, sure beats digging by hand, doesn't it? So anyway, I think this will work fine. You know, the only thing you're left with are some holes here that you got to deal with. You got to fill that in. You got to pull the woody material out and do something with it. But you know, once it's out, pretty easy to maybe come along with a little trailer and a four-wheeler or something, pitch the stump in the back of that, and then go dispose of it in a burn pile or something. I think that'll work great. So you guys let me know in the video, in the comments here, maybe how you, if you're an established tree farm, how you get rid of stumps on your farms. I'm sure it'll be great for new farmers watching this to hear what you guys do. You know, we're a couple years away still from harvesting any of our own trees, so you know, I'm gonna obviously keep this and we'll probably end up using it, but perhaps maybe we'll experiment with not removing them at all, because that's just, if we don't have to do it, one more thing that we don't have to do, and that'd be nice. So I'm gonna wrap it up today. Thanks for watching, guys. If you got questions or comments, leave those below. I appreciate you watching. I'll catch you on the next video. Bye, guys.